Salutations, my friends, and welcome to a new video. Now, you guys may know what's happening either based on the title or the time of month, but you already know if you've been watching my videos for a while. Every single start of month, I come on here with a trusty little device, a trusty little gadget to help me choose what I read every single month. And friends, September is no different. Welcome to my TBR prompt jar chooses my September reads. I am very, very excited about this. I think that August, all things considered, went quite well as a reading month. I definitely found things that I didn't love, things that I really ended up adoring. Certain DNFs that I'm not going to talk about in this video, but you will see in a vlog that is coming very soon. And so it was very up and down, full of surprises, but overall, I think I had a lot of fun with my reading in August. And for September, which is extra exciting, I promised myself, regardless of what happened during August, I would do a TBR clean out. So I am taking every single thing out of the TBR card, at least from the main tier, and I am ushering that out. We are renewing it completely, and I am choosing 10 new books to put into my TBR for the month of September. Now, I do have certain books that I am still reading that at the time of filming this video I am not done with. However, the hope is to finish at least most of them before the month is over, and if not, I will be moving those to the second tier because they are ongoing reads, and the hope would be to finish them sometime soon, but they are definitely not the priority. And so I'm excited because I'm excited to hopefully fit everything I'm thinking of into my September TBR, but there's also so many options. I am torn between certain books. I just don't know. I will let fate speak with this because whenever I am torn, I find that the TBR jar, I mean, sometimes it leads me astray, I'm not gonna lie. However, most of the time it does help clear out doubts when I don't know what to pick up and what to read. So I feel like this is going to be a good one. So buckle up, grab your cozy drink, and let us get started with this TBR. Cozy drink done. Now it's time to build a TBR. You didn't think you were gonna be the only one with a good cozy drink, right? Because I got mine too. What's up, girlfriend? Cheers to this. Look at this coffee. It's my first time trying sugar-free caramels. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but let us hope that it is. So bottoms up. So let me give you a rundown of what I am currently still in the middle of that I have not finished. As of today is August 27th. So as of 4 days before the month ends, books are still not done. We have got these books right here. So we have got The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, which I've already started. I am annotating for my Patreon book club, and so that book is still ongoing, and it'll definitely be finished by the time that either August is done or by the end of the first week of September, so it'll be good. It's still going to get read. Same thing with The Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, still actively reading this. I am annotating it to filth. These two books I'm kind of idle with. I have got The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and then I have got Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. I have not picked these books up since I started them, so these are definitely going to be bumped down to the second tier in the TBR card, as in I'm still reading them, but I don't know when I'll be picking them back up and continuing them, but I definitely don't want to put them back on the shelves. And then last but not least, I've got Chain Gang All-Stars, which I am also actively reading. I am currently 30 pages in, about to walk into the third chapter. It's really good. It captured my attention immediately, so I'm hoping to get this book done by tomorrow. So fingers crossed I can. And now I need to show you everything I did end up reading during August as of today. I did read a little outside of my TBR, mostly graphic novels and manga that I was really dying to read, and then Libby Holtz came in and I had to, but I did read mostly for my TBR, as I always do. And so these right here are the books that I did end up finishing. I've got A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn, which I loved. This book was so good. I can't wait to get book 2 and get into that hopefully in October. I feel like it'll make for a really cozy October read. October is my birthday month, so I'm choosing Happiness, The Right Move by Liz Tomford, another hit. I'm obsessed with Brian Che. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, A Psalm for the Wild Build, which was another huge hit for me in August. And then we have got 3 volumes right here of A Sign of Affection. I am now obsessed with this manga series, and I totally ordered more volumes that are still not here, but I'm hoping that I can put into my September TBR because I need more. I need more of Itsuomi and Yuki. They're everything. The plan was only to read volume 1, which was also very impromptu, like it wasn't in my TBR, and then I ended up reading 3 volumes. It's okay. It's time to start choosing the prompts that will lead me to my TBR for September. I'm so excited. A sip for good measure. So let's pick out our very first prompt. I am genuinely hoping that this cooperates with me because, again, I'm in a very specific mood. I'm feeling a little bit of everything for September. So I'm hoping that this doesn't cage me into like anything specific. So our very first one is, ooh, book with a favorite cover. I can work with this because I can also BS my way through this one. I can make up what my favorite cover is, baby, no problem. Though I probably will choose a cover that I really like. Books with a favorite cover, I have got several. I really like the cover for A Fate Inked in Blood. I think this is gorgeous. Some people may disagree with me, but I think this book is really pretty. I also, oh my god, please hold. I also really love the Off to the Races rebrand covers. I know a lot of people also had qualms with them when they were announced. I don't know why, because these are the original covers. Ugly, baby, ugly. The God and the Gumiho also has a stunning cover. Like, literally look at this. This is the UK edition, and I am obsessed with this. It's actually ridiculous. I feel like this, like, objectively speaking, I feel like this is the prettiest one. I think also that is very subjective, and some people may disagree with me, but I think for this one, I'm gonna go for the God and the Gumiho. This is actually the Lou Fantasma, which is a book club I host over on Patreon with Liv. Pick for September, and I am so excited about this book. You guys know one of my favorite books of all time is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I adored everything to do with the nine-tailed fox, the mythology behind it, and this one sounds so good. There's a nine-tailed fox, there's a trickster god, and there is like a race against time in order for the trickster god to get pardoned. It sounds so good. I know in the God and the Gumiho we follow Kim Khani, our main character, a nine-tailed fox who works at a coffee shop, and it is in said coffee shop that she ends up meeting the trickster god Sokka, I believe his name is pronounced, and they end up striking like this really unlikely friendship despite Kim Khani's initial standoffishness toward this god, and our trickster god has been banished from the heavens because of some indiscretions, I will assume, and after a demon runs loose and the Scarlet Fox makes an appearance, his fellow gods basically go, hey, kill them both and we'll pardon you of everything. You can come back, no problem. Except that he doesn't know that Kim Khani is the Scarlet Fox, and things go from there. It sounds like the coziest fantasy time whilst also having really good stakes and also potentially having a really great romance between these two characters. I have got no idea if this is a series or if this is supposed to be a standalone, but whichever the case, I am hoping that I love this one, and I think it's gonna be so fun to read it on Patreon and discuss it and do a live show for it in Sprint, and I'm just so very excited about this, so can't wait to read this one. It's gonna be so good. Let us pick out prompt number 2. I'm trying to dig in here and maybe pull out prompts that I haven't before, because I feel incidentally I always end up with prompts that we've already used before because they're just at the top, and this is a free spot. I don't know how I always do this. I don't know how I always end up with free spots, but I think the universe loves me and I'll take the universe's love because this is great. Now the question is, which one do I want to use in that free spot? I feel like naturally I must utilize that specific spot for my Patreon book club pick so that if anything happens afterwards, at least I know that that book is in my TBR, and if all goes to shit later, then it's gonna be okay, but at least it's in there. You know what I mean? And that is going to be this Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. This is our Patreon book club pick for September for the overall general book club. I loved Tahereh Mafi growing up. Like, Shatter Me was my Joker. I was obsessed with Shatter Me, like you guys have got no idea. There was a time before TikTok starting obsessing over it. If you know, you know. If you went through it with me, I see you, girlfriend, I see you. Because there was once a time where it was only a trilogy, allegedly, and I had to withstand the third book and think that there was nothing after. And then Tahereh Mafi came out with more books. I never read them, so in my head, it's still the Demon trilogy I read that made me obsess over it and had a somewhat open ending cliffhanger. We're not gonna talk about it. And now it is time for me to go into this Woven Kingdom, and I'm excited. So in this one, we follow our main character, Elsie, who is the long-lost heir of a magical hidden Jinn kingdom, and she is now forced to live her days as a servant. The same servant that catches the eye of the crown prince, Cameron, who at this point in time, at the start of the book, I believe, has either been foretold or he saw it himself, I'm not sure, but he knows of the death of his father, and he knows that it'll be at the hands of Elsie. Don't know how, don't know what brings her to do it, or exactly how the events go down, but I think it sounds so good. The whole Jinn kingdom, lost heir, hidden identity, forbidden romance. It just sounds so good. There's fan art that I have seen that looks out of this world, and it's time, and I have the Illumicrate edition. I've been storing this for a good time. The good time has gotten here. Now that both Patreon book club picks are in here, I feel a little more confident to kind of move around and make other choices. Now on to our third prompt. Again, I'm trying to like dig in here. I'm already having to like refold these prompts because you see everything at the top, it's like semi-folded. Our next prompt is, ooh, okay. Oh, am I gonna do it? Animal companion or in the cover. So that means that I either have to choose a book that has an animal on the cover or a plot that features an animal companion. Now I've been thinking, oh my god, I'm literally like, my heart is palpitating. I'm gonna take this as a sign from the universe. I have been thinking recently, because I've seen some of my patrons recently read Skyward, that I really need to re-enter the series because I know Defiant already came out. I wasn't aware that Defiant was the last book in the Skyward series. I feel like I need to choose Skyward Flight. It's not an animal companion, but Spencer, the main character, she's got a ship called Mbot, and Mbot speaks, and it's a companion, like genuinely like sentient and everything, so this may be good. If not this, then I don't know what to pick out for animal companion. Oh wait, Bookshops and Bonedust could be a good one. I can't, is that, I'm trying to figure out what this little hybrid here is. Is this like a dog and an owl? I don't know. First paragraph of each. You guys already know. I do this quite often when I don't know what to do, and most of the time it's really helpful, so I'm hoping that it will be helpful. 18, bellowed Viv, bringing her saber around in a flat curve that battered the white skull off its spine. She laughed and rammed her shoulder through its body before it could begin to fall, shattering bones in all directions. In 2 more steps, she'd already brought the blade back in an upswing, catching another in the ribcage. Splinters sprayed like wood chips from a felling axe. I think that's exactly how Legends and Lattes actually started out. I also think it started with her fighting something. Why am I actually nervous about this? The day the Delver came, I stood staring up at the stars. Sanderson! Even after all these months, I wasn't accustomed to living in the sky. I'd grown up underground in a cavern so deep it would take hours to reach the surface. I'd felt safe there, buried beneath kilometers of rock, other caverns forming a buffer above the one where I lived, down where nothing could reach us. I'm gonna go for Skyward Flight. Now, I don't know the specifics of each of these novellas, so I would not be able to tell you what each of them individually is about. However, I can divulge what the Skyward series follows primarily. We follow our main character Spencer, who feels like she's got a lot to prove. Her dad was branded a deserter, a traitor, and a coward back in a huge battle that really defines the way that society lives now. In fact, people hate her dad so much that they now take it out on her and her family. And now Spencer feels like she's got to prove herself by going to Flight Academy, not only so that she can shut everybody up, but also because it's something that she wants to pursue. She wants to find out the truth of what actually happened to her father, and she wants to live up to the image of him that she has got in her head. So she enlists in flight school, and once she gets there, she figures out that it's not all that it's cut out to be, because there's actually loads of things that they don't know and that she'll end up discovering along the way, and it is so good. And there's a found family element to this, the crew just doing the absolute most. And I remember I have such fun memories of reading Skyward and putting on some sci-fi ambiance in the background and just reading the shit out of that book, and I need that experience again. So I'll be reading the first 2 novellas, 370 pages, about this much of the book. I'm so excited. I am literally so in shock at how good this TBR is going. TBR jar. I don't know why I looked up. TBR jar. Please keep cooperating with me, and the universe and God too, please. So for our 4th prompt, there's one that this finger is grasping onto, and I want it. This one right here. Book that matches shirt. I'm wearing a gray shirt right now. I feel like I can find something that fits this scheme. So a book that matches shirt. Something gray. Me trying to fit my agenda in here. I feel like a Fate Inked in Blood fits quite well in here. I think I'm gonna go for a Fate Inked in Blood. I have heard such great things about this book recently that I can't help but to want to read this. Also, remember when I said I would not get the paperback? I did. It's floppy. I couldn't not do it. And to my understanding, I don't know too much about this, but I do know that we follow our main character Freya that has got a little bit of goddess blood in her, which in turn gives her a little bit of power, and power that has been prophesized to unite the kingdom. And at the start of the book, she is living in a very unhappy marriage. I think, is she married? I think, yeah, in an unwanted marriage. And she lives as a servicing wife, which is the last thing she wants to do because she wants to be a warrior. And she may just get her wish because after her husband betrays her, she is put into a fight with the regent's, I think it's pronounced Jarl, with his son Bjorn, and the thing goes from there. I don't know anything else beyond that. I do know it's got like a really good fantasy romance element to this. I have never read a Danielle Jensen book, but I think she's like notorious for fantasy romance romance books, right? We are in for our 5th book, and for our 5th book, I am gonna go, I just dropped something, but I have one right here, so let's read this, and then I'll pick up the one that I dropped and put it back in, and it'll be fine. So this says, oh, oh, brother, here's my thing. I'm gonna give myself the agency to put this back in. One, because I don't actually have one, but also because if I did, I'm just not in the mood for it. But I got a dark romance. I don't own any. I think I own books that may get close to the feeling, but none in the romance section. I don't actually. I don't think I own a single one. So this is going back in because I actually don't have any options for this. We've never done that before actually, but have to be real. This is the one that I dropped right here. So I'm just gonna open this and see maybe if this is what the universe willed us to read. And if not, then we'll choose another one. I don't know. This one says, ooh, blurbed by a fave author. I think we can do this. We've actually never gotten this one before. Blurbed by a favorite author. I think I must have something. Let me just grab this. Nicholas Eames. Got no idea. Oh, Seanan McGuire is in here. I do love me some Seanan McGuire. So this could be an option. A novel love story is blurbed by Sophie Cousins. I got no idea who that is. Carly Fortune, B.K. Borison. Literally no author that I have read from. Literally none. And then we have got, oh, Ali Hazelwood blurbed it. Funny, breathtaking, hopeful, and dreamy. Ali Hazelwood blurbed this. Seanan McGuire blurbed this. I have enjoyed more books by Ali Hazelwood than I have Seanan McGuire, so I feel naturally I must go for a novel love story, also because we don't have a single romance in here, and I feel like I need to start figuring out how to balance all of these fantasies and sci-fis with some romance, so I'm gonna go for a novel love story. I know in this one we follow a main character that has yearly meetups with her book club, except that this particular year, her book club canceled the meeting. She's still going on the getaway, and in the middle of road tripping there, her car breaks down, and when it does and she ends up asking for help, she figures out that she's actually in her favorite book's fictional town, and it is full of her favorite characters and characters that she's read about for quite a bit, and I think that sounds so exciting. It sounds like, I think, what a lot of us readers would love to do, and I am excited about this. I have only ever read a single Ashley Poston book, which is The 7-Year Slip. I really don't have a lot of experience with the author, save for that one, and I feel like this could be fun. We've got our first romance for September. That worked out quite well, actually, with that little fallen piece. So let us go for our 6th book, and let me grab this one right here. It's really well folded. Maybe we've never pulled it before. And this one says, ooh, an audiobook. Do I have any books that I want to audiobook in September? We have got an audiobook pick, and for this one, I am not really planning on audiobooking it, but I do have it, so I feel like it's a good safety, just in case I do end up wanting to audiobook while I do my diamond painting. So literally, I was browsing Everend yesterday, and I realized, if it ever freaking loads, they actually have Bookshops and Bonedust, so I saved it yesterday, which is just perfect timing. And again, I don't know if I'll be audiobooking it, if I'll be reading it physically. It is narrated by the author, and the author was actually a narrator before they became an author, which I think is really cool. So I feel Bookshops and Bonedust may just be the one to add for this, especially because I've been looking at it this entire video, so it may just be the one. Now in this one, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it's actually about. I know in the first book, Legends and Lattes, we followed our character Viv, an assassin orc who actually is on the path of redemption, and she ended up opening a whole ass coffee shop and making some really great friends and meeting her partner along the way, and I really loved it. It was really cozy. I know that this is 0.5, so this was before the event of Legends and Lattes. I just don't know exactly what this book will follow. I will assume some sort of bookshop. It says high fantasy, first loves, and secondhand books. I really don't want to know anything about this. I feel like I want to go in pretty blind, same way as I did with Legends and Lattes, because I walked into that book just knowing the bare minimum, and so I'm going to leave it as is. Going to put this into the TBR card. Going into our 7th prompt, let me go for, I don't know which one I want to go for. Let's go for this one. I don't want it to end. I don't want the good vibes to end. I'm literally shaking. Oh, an adult book. I can do that. I think this is going to be amazing. The world is my oyster, literally. Where do I want to go is the question. I am unsure. Is this an adult book? Oh, Entangled Publishing. I feel like that's YA. Fuck. Investigative moment. Please hold. Let's go on Goodreads. While Goodreads loads, because it's immensely slow when it comes to loading, either that or Off to the Races. I totally forgot about Off to the Races for a second there. here. So it's either gonna be one of these two. I know for sure Off to the Races is adult. The question is assistant to the villain. Oh, it's actually adult. There's a tag in there that says young adult, but all of the ones before it say that it's adult. The young adult is like the very, very last one. Had to pull out the trusty ring light because otherwise we have got no lighting, everybody. That said, I think I'm gonna go for assistant to the villain. I hope I'm not making a mistake. I've heard that this book is fun. It's slightly campy, but overall it's just a good time. I know the sequel just came out and everybody has been speaking wonders about it. I have to admit, the reason why I want to read this so bad, it's not because of what the people are saying, but rather because I've been seeing the author on TikTok and she looks adorable. She's so wholesome. I've been seeing her go into like Targets and Barnes to sign books, and it is the most wholesome thing I think I've ever seen. And just that alone, I think it was her personality that makes me want to read this more than anything else. Going to put this into the TBR. And I know in this one we follow Evie as she is hired by the kingdom's villain to be his assistant, and she quickly figures that a lot of what the job entails is exactly what she expected. Literally the fact says, assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror and other dark things in general. Discretion is a must. Excellent benefits. And I know part of the plot is that there's actually like a villain or a danger bigger than this villain that Evie must help solve and figure out, and I'm really excited about this. I really don't know anything about this book. I don't know how I have managed to stay off spoilers as much as I have, but beyond like the premise itself and the basics, I really know nothing. So going into this one, pretty blind as well. Another purple book. What's happening? Let us go for book number 8. I'm hoping I get something in here that allows me to put Off to the Races in here. So let us see. This one feels dangerously long. I'm actually pretty scared. And we have got, oh, there's 2 in here. What do I want to go for? Left, right. Let's go for this one. This one says Discord's choice. Okay, that means that I get to put a little poll up on the Discord server from Patreon and they get to choose for me. So let us choose some options. So I feel like naturally Off to the Races has got to make it to the poll because I know my girls got me. I know they're gonna choose Off to the Races, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's also put The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes in there. I feel like that could also be a good one. I ordered the physical. It's almost here. It shipped out, I think, yesterday or the day before, so I should have it with me in a couple days. I really want to finish the Inheritance game series, and so I'm going to put this, The Final Gambit, in there. Is there anything else I want to put in this poll? I don't know that there is. I feel like we should do a battle between 2 books. I'm going to put this into announcement, and I'm gonna do hello everybody. The TBR jar has chosen you to choose a book for me. Let a girl know what she should add. And then for duration, let us do the hour post, and then there we go. And I'm just saying, this is as great a chance as any to say, if you would like to join us on Patreon, link is at the top of the description. It's a great time. It helps run the channel smoothly, get equipment and all things necessary to help run this thing smoothly, and you also get a ton of things back. You get book clubs, a Discord server, sprints, hangouts, cozy game nights, cozy movie nights, a bunch of stuff, early access, exclusive videos. You're not gonna want to miss it. And while that simmers, we have got to choose our last 2 books. And so for our 9th book, it feels so weird to be able to choose the full 10. It's so exciting. I'm gonna start dropping things. This one's like tiny. Why is it so small? Literally look at that. It's like microscopic. Magic in plot. I'm gonna make this work. Okay, so we have got magic in plot. Evidently my hand was going through it because what even is this handwriting? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna call this magic in the plot, the magic of existing, the magic of existence, the magic of finding the friends along the way, the magic of tea making, the magic of robots speaking, the magic of being human. A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. I obviously read The Psalm for the Wild Built in August. The series so far only has 2 books. I don't know if the plan is to do more than that or if this is just a duology. I've got no idea. However, I do have the ebook on Everend. It's obviously part of my TBR even though I don't own it physically because it's a series that I've got currently ongoing. In this series, we follow our main character, sibling Dex, who is quite tired of city life. They find that city life has become extremely overwhelming. They want nothing to do with tall skyscrapers or hanging out with people and going out to parties. They want to feel the fresh air and go out into the woods and discover things that they have never gotten to see before. And so they decide to become a tea monk. And so they do. They decide to embark on this journey to become a tea monk, city to city, place to place, town to town. And it is in the middle of that journey that sibling Dex ends up meeting Moscap, a robot that has lived in the woods its entire life. Robots used to be a huge part of society up until they gained consciousness, and they decided to put down their tools and completely live in the woods, separate from humans and the labor. And these two end up connecting over the meaning of existence and the meaning of life. And I really loved book book 1. So naturally, I think I'm going to put book 2 in here so that the series doesn't rot in my unfinished series list. All right, I love that, and it low-key gives me a great excuse to actually get A Prayer for the Crown Shy physically so that I can own both of them and put them on my shelves. So I love that. Now for our very last book, and then we'll circle back to Discord's choice, I am going to go for this one right here. And this one says, ooh, single parent trope, single parent trope, single parent trope. I don't think I have any single parent books that I have not read. Oh my god, I actually don't. Oh wait, I think it's the only one I have actually, because I feel like all of the other ones I've read. I have The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. Definitely not what I was expecting for the end of this little TBR. I had another fantasy in mind, but goddamn. Okay, single parent trope. Okay, there we go. I actually got this at the International Book Fair recently here in Panama because I saw it and I was like, yes, you're coming home with me. I read The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson and I loved it. And I have been recommended this book several times by my patrons. I know it obviously follows a single dad, and then it also, wait, oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, wait, I have another one. Oh, I have another one that could work perfectly, and I know it's like almost here. I obviously read The Right Move in August, and I know one of my patrons very kindly sent me Caught Up, which is Kai Rhodes' book, and it's also a single parent trope, and I don't know what to do. Wait, I do have another one. It's just I don't have it physically right now. Told myself I would not read a Windy City book in September because I want to pace myself. I can make definitive choices without feeling like I can't make choices. The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I know we follow a single, I don't know what to do. The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. We have a single dad, allegedly an executive chef and Dilf extraordinaire. His name is Aiden. Cute. And then we follow our main character who is an OnlyFans girl. And then he hires her to be a nanny. And I really just want to see how they navigate the whole like OnlyFans thing, him being a single dad. I'm really curious to see that aspect of it. Again, my other experience with Lana Ferguson has been so positive that I would love to see what she brings with this one. So I am going to go with The Nanny. And let us see how the Patreon Discord poll is going. It would be great to know what I'll be reading. Oh, I love that one of my patrons said, Mel, you can't put an Elsie Silver and the Final Inheritance Games book against each other. That's just mean to my soul. So we've got 37 votes in as of right now. The poll still has 44 minutes left, but because we have reached the end of this video, I have to make a definitive choice. Evidently, people have. So as of right now, and things may change within the next hour, but I am going to stick with what is currently winning, and that is Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. I'll likely still read The Final Gambit because why not? So I will put Off to the Races into the TBR. Now, what I don't know is specifics about this book. I know we follow Billy, who is a horse trainer, and she's supposed to train Vaughn. Apparently, the name Vaughn is going to be difficult to get used to, but we're going to get there. I know that he is very stubborn because he feels like his way is the way, and he has run through a variety of different trainers before. Like, he's a very difficult one to work with. Beyond that, I really don't know anything, so I'm going to put Off to the Races in here. I hope it's equally as good a time as the Chestnut Spring series because I think that was her first book, so we'll see where everything takes us. I think this is going to be one of those months where I will be reading outside of my TBR, full transparency. I really want to read some more volumes of A Sign of Affection, so if you see me read things that I technically shouldn't, mind your own business. Like, seriously. And that was a success, honestly. I think the TBR jar is always a really great way to condense my choices and kind of narrow down where my brain is at because sometimes it's too chaotic. So I love doing the TBR jar as always. It brings me a lot of joy. This is what the TBR cart is looking like at the moment, which is very exciting. I have got other things again that I may read outside of it, but all in good fun and all to finish out some series, which I am quite excited to do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to give it a massive thumbs up down below. Also, let a girl know as always what you'll be reading in the month of September. Have you read any of the books that I put into my TBR? And we'll chat in the comment section because I love to see what you guys are reading and to see if there's any overlap with the books I am reading. I know a bunch of us ended up reading Game of Thrones in August, which I thought was super fun because you guys were DMing me, so I absolutely love it all. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more content like this if you want more. And if you reach the end of the video, let us do some horse emojis for Off to the Races. And if you want to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon. It's always linked down below in case you guys want to help support the channel further. It's always really appreciated and you get tons of things in return. So that is always linked down below so you guys can check that out. I love you guys the absolute most, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye!